I just want to say welcome to everyone. We're so glad to have you. A moment ago, I looked out and I saw 3 or 4 people. I'm like, well, it's going to be that day, huh? And then the next time I saw all of you, and it's wonderful. You may be seated. And so I just want to say, ask and listen. This is what our sermon about today. Ask and listen. Now, how many of you ask and keep begging? You ask and you keep begging. Yes. But when you ask the universe, this universal God within, you ask, you put it out into the universe, and you just listen. And you can sit in your silence and just listen. The voice directs you and tell you what to do, the time, and all those things, what to do. So you have the power to transform your lives by just asking and listening. Just as simple as that. Ask and listen. Many times we don't tend to listen. And that voice tells us what to do, and we go off and do something really weird because we didn't listen to that voice that told us exactly what to do. And we didn't want to hear that voice. We didn't want to hear what that voice said. We felt that voice wasn't accurate, or we felt that that wasn't what this is all about. Maybe the voice, maybe that voice, that inner part inside of us, that God inside of us, didn't understand what we asked. So I'll go back and ask again. Maybe he just didn't understand. Like someone said to me, well, I asked about a job and this came to me. And then they said to me, they said, stand still. But I don't believe I need to stand still. Someone had given me another chance. So I'm gonna go on to the other job. How many of you done that? I know some of you out there done it because you've done it with me. After you listened. And you listened, and you still didn't do what the voice said. The voice materialized the gift for you. Materialized it for you, and you still didn't listen. Or the voice materialized in the sense of waiting until it is time for you to do what you need to do. All times, the time is not right to do what we need to do. I often sit and say to us, sometimes if you have surgery or something, you say, well, is it time? And you ask, when is it time? And that time is given to you. Spirit gives that time to you. Then maybe you wait a week, maybe 2 weeks, or maybe now is the time. But all times when things are happening in our lives, we need to ask, is it now or is it later? When shall I move this? When shall I do this? When is it time? We need to ask. We are such control people, want to be in control of everything, that we don't feel that it's time to listen. We feel that it's time to do, we're just having a conversation with the Spirit. We're not trying to get an answer from Him. We're just having a conversation with that God inside. We're not trying to get an answer. If you're just having a conversation, not trying to get answers, that's fine. You don't have to listen. But if you are actually in need of an answer, you need to listen. I like this story. I don't know how many of you heard the story about this woman. They was on the road, and so she had an accident. They had an accident. And so her son was deadly ill, and it was far away from the doctor. And she went and knocked on this door, and the people let her in. And she said, my son has had a terrible accident, and I'm in need of help. And they said, the doctor is a long ways from here. And she said, can I come in? They said, yes, you can bring me on in, but it would take the doctor about 5 hours to get here. And he was just deadly. He had been in an accident, he was just bleeding. And so she said, do you have a closet? And they said, yes. She said, do you mind if I go in the closet? And they said, no. So she went in the closet and she prayed. She said she just wanted to go in the upper room. And she just wanted to talk to her God. And so she prayed and she prayed and she stayed there praying. And she prayed until her son was okay. Sometimes you have to just stay on course. You don't have to pray a long time, but you just have to stay on course. You have to be on course so that what you ask for, you know that it will happen for you. You got to know it all deep in your heart. Like this woman knew deep in her heart that her son would be all right. She knew that if she just could get a quiet place, a place all by herself, that she could just talk to her God. And that's that God. All of us have that God inside of us. She wanted to talk to her God about her son. She would be okay. And she was okay. He was okay. So all of us have the opportunity to talk to our God. Each one of us have God inside of us. God is inside of each one of us. There is no man or woman running around or over around looking hard. That God is inside of you, that energy. God is that energy that's all inside of your heart, that energy is part of you, that's able to perform for you and have the change that you are helping you make the change that you want. But you have to be sure of the change that you want. Some of us ask for a change, but not sure of the change we want. Sometimes we're not sure. So therefore, the change does not come because we are so mixed up when we ask. We sometimes ask for one thing and the next day we ask for another one, a similar version, and the next day another one of a similar version. Ask for what you want. You know, we go to the convention and this lady said, I asked for a husband. She said, now I'm gonna tell you, look at my list, Marrice. She put down everything she wanted about that person. Everything she wanted on that list. It was a long list, front and back. So sometimes you have to make yourself sure what you want and not be off. You have to write it down. What is it you're looking for? Sometimes you have to revise your list. What kind of job are you looking for? What kind of home are you looking for? If you have a home and you miss the refrigerator in the house, but you want a built-in refrigerator, you want a built-in stove and you miss that. Well, you need to know what you want, how you want it. You don't need to just be wanting something it's like taking a piece of, Spirit is showing me like taking some clay and just throwing it on the wall and you don't know what you're trying to make. The Spirit is showing me this, like you don't know what you're trying to make, you're just throwing it there. And whatever happens, just happens. So you want your life to be like that? Whatever happens, just happens because you're just throwing something into the ether. You're just saying and throwing something there. Are you sure of what you want? Listen. Listen. Ask and listen. And you know, sometimes it doesn't come today or tomorrow. It comes much later than that. It comes much later than that. The peace that you ask for, in your life sometimes come later than you ask for. Because you are not trying to gather that peace in your life. You're still creating havoc in your lives. So peace cannot come when you're creating havoc. You can ask, Lord, give me all the peace there is, and then you're doing havoc in your life. You're creating havoc yourselves. You have drama going on, and you're creating part of that drama. How can you have peace in your life and you're creating the drama? How can you do that? You want peace on the job, and you're creating the drama on the job? You want peace in your home, and you're creating drama yourself? How do you get peace in a home when you're creating the drama, part of the drama? and you want to fault everyone else for non-peace. There is no peace. We got to say, I want peace, and I'm clearing out all the negativity around me. I'm clearing all the things that I do to help create the drama. I'm clearing all that out because I don't want that in my life. I am clearing it out. You have to clear out your part. You have to do your part. Once you do your part, then you look for others to do their part, and you ask that person, the other person, that they listen and they become peaceful, and that peace surround them, and you pray on that peace for them. But you gotta pray on that peace for yourselves first. The energy that you're creating around you is of your choice. Your choice. Your choice to determine what kind of energy you're creating. Is it positive energy or negative energy? What is it you're creating? You know, you think about that energy, and that positive and negative. And you think about it when you were in high school or college, when they talk about that energy and that positive and negative, the positive on one end, the negative on the other end. You think about that. So where are you on the scale where there's a ruler and there's a positive on one end and negative on the other? Where do you live on this ruler? Where do you live? What side do you live on? Are you on a side? Is your house clean? Is your house clean? I say to you this morning that you have to be very sure of what you want in life. Very sure. Only you can create. You're the master of your ship. And everyone else are just helpers to help you get where you're going. So since you're the master, you have to be very sure of what you want. Because if you're not, you might end up anywhere. Your ship might end up anywhere. And it might end up with the shipwreck. You know, I had another sermon this morning for us to have this morning, which I'm going to do next week. And I thought it was profound. But then Spirit said to me, ask and listen. So someone here needed this. And I needed this too. Ask where you're going. You ask how you're going to get there. And listen. The voice will tell you. You've never gone wrong before. Never gone wrong. If you listen to that voice. You know, the voice is not what you want. The voice is what the universe feels you need. The blessings that you need. So if it's not what you want to tend to discard it and not hold it and not just build on it. But I tell you, it's not all times what you want. Did you think I want to be in a church? No, I never did. It was never a dream to be a pastor. That was not my dream. It was not my dream. But I listened. I listened. And so it's been 40-some years now because I listened. And so the next stage of my life, I'll keep listening to see what the universe wants me to do. Is it over? Is my life over? When I leave this church? No, it's not over. It's just the beginning of a new path, of a new journey. So remember that. Your life is never over when you end something. It's only the beginning of something new. And it even may be better, in a sense. And it may not, it just may be equal, but it may be something that teaches you something different. That's what it is. Because life is a teacher. That's what it is. And so when you start something new in your life, you wait for the answer of what it's teaching you. You want to know, what am I learning? Even if there's something negative happening there, you want to know what you're learning. You're learning something, I tell you that. And if you're positive about wanting to know what it is, the grace of it will come. And even if sometimes it's not always seen to be positive, it is positive. It is good. So I tell you as I end this morning, because there's a lot of young people out here now coming out of churches, so I want you to know that everything doesn't start at the top. It's like you eat an ice cream cone, you start at the top. Sometimes you don't start at the top. Sometimes you look around the sides. And so that means you're trying to get the drip from stop dripping or something. And so life is like that. That what you want sometimes, you're not going to start at the top always. It's not always at the top. Sometimes it's going to be at the bottom. And you're going to say, how did I get here? This is not what I went to school for. This is not what I dreamed of, dreamt of. This is not me. And then all of a sudden you see yourself sitting at the bottom. But the Spirit didn't say that because you're at the bottom, you're going to be there always. Spirit says, there's a lesson to learn. Learn the lesson. As fast as you learn the lesson, the quicker you'll be off the bottom. So I tell you this morning to all the young people, don't be so fast to run to the top. Don't think you have to get to the top so fast. Just know that you'll get there. But on your way there, you want to learn everything you can learn so you can stay there. Because the issue is not going to the top. The issue is staying at the top. Bless you.
Bless you.